Hello all, it's officially fall season in which we ball. I don't know why she's a poet today. Welcome back. In honor of spooky season, we are going to be going over my past Halloween looks. Today we are getting ready for my sister's birthday dinner. I have an hour and 10 minutes. I don't have a vision. I have no vision. I have no inspo for my look tonight. I don't know what I want to do. I don't even want to get dressed right now. My skin, I know it's so annoying when people like complain about their skin on the internet and I feel like shut the fuck up, but my skin for the last 3 months, ever since I got back from Asia, I've had a breakout of some kind of rash on my entire body, like head to toe. It's around my eyes and around my mouth, so putting makeup on is just kind of painful at the moment, but we do what we gotta do, okay? We are also going to a birthday party after my sister's dinner, so we kind of have a big night ahead of us, and I am still sober. It's my last weekend of sobriety. Thank God. No, I'm kidding. Since my skin has been so uncomfortable, I want to do a makeup look that is a little bit more hydrating and lighter on the skin. I'm also sick, so that's really awesome for me. Okay, before we dive into the costumes, I want to explain a little bit of my Halloween philosophy. The way that I approach Halloween is every year I have one main costume. All of the rest of my costumes are side costumes. How I approach the main and side costumes is this. My main costume, it has to be something that I haven't done before. My costumes are always usually pretty fashion forward. The way that I put together the actual costumes is I will only buy items of clothing that I can rewear. I just cannot stand the thought of buying something that I can only wear once, like something really costumey or not timeless or really trendy that I might get sick of or that I won't be able to rewear or restyle unless it's a prop. Props do not fall under the category requirement of being something that I need to be able to rewear because it's a fucking prop. Props excluded. The outfit of the costume has to be something that I will rewear, individual pieces or all together. My reasoning for this is I don't want to waste my money, period, on something that I'm only gonna wear once. Even if it is like a costume that you'll rewear throughout the years, I tend to find like costume pieces, it's just like a waste. It's a waste of money and it's a waste of space, and I think it's also just like wasteful for the environment and whatnot. If I'm buying regular pieces of clothing, creating a costume out of it, and then also wearing those pieces throughout the year, I'm getting my money's worth and I'm not over consuming or being wasteful, okay? For my side costumes, I will rewear my main costumes from previous years, or I will put together a new costume with the things that I already have. Let's get into the looks. We are going back to the year 2020. This was obviously COVID year, but this was the first year that I took Halloween extremely seriously. I've always loved Halloween, but until I kind of developed my own sense of fashion, my own sense of style, I didn't really take it as seriously as I do now. I was a fairy. My dress I got from RUMI. My wings I found on Etsy. And my shoes, I don't even want to say the brand because I don't believe in the brand. I did little rhinestone makeup. It was just so fab. I loved it. And the pictures were amazing. Next, this was still 2020. This was a side costume. I was a leopard. The fairy costume, I bought all new things for. For this leopard, I just put together things that I already had and I borrowed a top from one of my friends. I had these pants already. I thrifted them. So I was like, oh, I can just use that. And then one of my girlfriends had this leopard top. And then I just did the makeup and that was it. And it was great. Next. This was the next year, 2021. One of my side costumes, which was actually just a makeup look. I don't even know if I wore this out. I think I was just doing some Halloween makeup TikToks or whatever, but it was Alien. And this is not an original idea. I got it from a different creator and I don't remember the creator, but I really love the idea of that. I feel like I don't really see aliens too much. The makeup look for this was so sick. I loved it. Next, this was same year, 2021. I was in college. I went to USC and there was like a frat event and one of my friends was visiting me from out of town and we did a masquerade moment. I re-wore the same dress that I wore for my fairy costume, and I already had this really beautiful mask that I had gotten in Venice, Italy, and that I had never worn before. So I was like, yeah, we're putting this to use. And this was my main costume for 2021. I was a seraphim angel, and I remember being so excited about this costume idea because I had never seen anyone do this idea before. So I felt so original and so creative. I remember doing so much research on everything. So I got the wings off of Amazon, I believe. I got 2 different sets of wings. I just wore both of them so that it could kind of create that biblically accurate look of a seraphim angel. And then I got eye tattoos from Amazon, and I put them all over my body because that's also to emulate the biblically accurate nature of the seraphim angel. And then for my nails, for the middle finger, I did 2 eyes so that I could do this little thing. And then my dress from RUMI, what I was really going for was, actually I had found this, I can't remember the designer's name, but there was something kind of going around the internet about this designer that drapes or designs dresses that are dry that look wet, and that was really what I wanted to go for. I found actually like the exact dress that I would have worn for this costume had it not been $3,000, but I found something similar enough, which is this little dress from RUMI. The way that this dress falls and the fabric and the way it's designed, like it kind of emulates that same almost wet look. So it was perfect for what I was going for. And you can see how all of these pieces are like normal clothes that you can rewear. Next, this is the year 2022. I'm not like the biggest fan of how this turned out. It was just like unnecessarily expensive for how underwhelming it all ended up being, but I did Peaky Blinders. I wanted to replicate Polly kind of from Peaky Blinders. It wasn't exactly right. I think I just needed an excuse to buy this dress from Fancy Club. I really wanted this dress. And so I was like, okay, if I buy this dress, then I have to use it for Halloween, blah, blah, blah. The shoes are Knowles, the dress is Fancy Club, and the fur I found on Etsy. It's vintage Arctic Fox. I'm obsessed with all of these pieces together and individually, and I've reworn all of them a million times. It was so worth it, but I'm not obsessed with the way that I kind of executed the whole look, especially for how expensive it all was, but it's okay. The same year I did Vampire, and this was just, we were going to Halloween Horror Nights, and I just kind of wanted to get myself in the mood and the vibe. This was like a side costume. It wasn't like super crazy. I had these contacts that I had gotten a few years back, so I was just re-wearing that. I just wore like a black collared shirt that I already had and did my hair and my makeup, and that was fucking it. Now we are approaching 2023. This one is probably my favorite. Dear Lord. This is probably my absolute favorite Halloween look I've ever done. It was so well thought out. Everything was so intentional. I think it came together perfectly. I give this one a 10. This year I did Queen of Hearts, and let me just take you through how detailed every single thing in this costume is. The corset, I was looking for something very specific. It's in the shape of a heart, okay? And it's beautiful. I did have to get it tailored because it was way too big for me, but now it's like kind of really fucking tight. I honestly don't wear this corset that much just because I genuinely cannot breathe when I wear it. So I have to be in a very specific mood if I want to wear this corset, but it is so beautiful, and because it's tailored, it fits so well. Anywho, corset in the shape of a heart, okay? We have that like heart symbolism. I was taking inspiration from the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland and the live action movie. So we have the white lace capris, and that kind of is like a modernized version of like the big poofy dress that she has. Mainly a nod toward like the undergarments for that time. Red underwear, obviously. And to kind of pull together the whole look and incorporate a little bit of that dress silhouette, I found this beautiful handmade robe. I'm obsessed with this fucking robe. Unfortunately, I haven't had like a reason to wear this robe other than this, and I didn't wear this robe to any of the parties that I went to that year either, because if I wore it to a party, it would get destroyed. But I'm obsessed with this robe. It brings me so much joy that I even have it within my possession, but that was the purpose of the robe, to still like tie together that silhouette of a really large dress without being a really large dress, if you know what I mean. And then the shoes, red heels, of course, gorgeous. The red lip. And what was really intentional is, I think in the live action, she has a blue eyeshadow. So I did a blue eyeshadow. And then we have the crown. And then my favorite part, probably apart from the robe, is the rose. So in Alice in Wonderland, I don't know if you remember, but the cartoon, the original one, the little minions, the little card minions, they mistakenly plant white roses in the queen's courtyard instead of red roses. What they do to remedy the problem is that they just paint the white roses red. So I got a fake rose and I painted the rose partially red, because the queen ends up finding out that the roses were painted red because she could see the white peeking through. And then if you look on the photo shoot that I did for this look, this was also the first year where I kind of was taking the photo shoot aspect of these costumes a little bit more seriously. There was like this curtain in the studio and I wrapped the end of the curtain around my head, because one of the punishments for the Queen of Hearts is off with their head. So the wrapping of the head for this shoot was to emulate and be symbolic of the off with the head part of the story. So I'm very proud of this one. No costume that I've had since this one has touched my soul in the same way. Next, this is a classic one. I've pretty much done this every single year as a side costume, just because I grew up doing ballet. I literally was Black Swan for a few of my performances growing up. So I have all of the materials just already in my closet. But Black Swan. I made this eye look a couple years back. Yeah, love this one. It's so easy. It's a staple always, and it's so cool. And there's so many ways that you can do it. Moving on. We are in 2024 now, so last year. This is probably my second favorite costume I've ever done. Last year, after I watched Saltburn, and I was like a year late to watching that movie, but after I watched it, I was obsessed. If you couldn't tell, I really like very dark, sultry, eerie bodies of work. I like when things are really beautiful. Everything is really well done and intentional. That's why I like The Idol. Like, everyone else hated The Idol, but I liked it. Not to say that it was good or anything. I mean, I thought it was good, but like, critiquing it aside, I liked the show because I felt it was really intentional and everything was well thought out. Like, maybe the execution could have been better, but like The Idol falls under dark, sultry, uncomfortable, eerie type of vibe. And so does Saltburn. It makes people uncomfortable. And I really like art that digs into, that explores the darkness that humans can be. Anywho, I was obsessed with Felix. That being fucking said, it either takes place on Halloween, like the birthday party, or they just had a Halloween themed birthday party. I can't remember. Obviously, there's a lot of material to use for Halloween in that movie, and Felix was a really easy side costume idea for me last year. So of course I thought about doing Oliver as well with the antlers, but for me it was gonna take a little bit more to execute Oliver's look, so I just went with Felix, which I absolutely intend on doing Oliver one day. But anywho, I scoured the internet for a very specific fit of a white tank top, because in Saltburn, he's not just wearing any white tank top. He is wearing like a loosely fitted tank top. And when I have a vision for something, I will not settle for anything less. So a regular ass Hanes wife beater was not gonna work. And I was looking at those, but it wasn't gonna work because it would be too tight. It wouldn't fit the way that I wanted to fit. So lo and behold, I found the exact tank top that I was looking for, and I found the exact wings that they used in the show. This is a rare moment for a side costume where I did buy new things, but it was such a specific thing that I wasn't really willing to compromise just because I didn't want to buy new things. Also, it's not a costume that like really took that much, and in order to scratch the itch that I have for putting a look together, I think it needs to be a little bit more than what Felix was. But Felix easily, I feel like this year I just had two main costumes because I did everything that I would have for Felix as I would for a main costume. The only thing I didn't do was wear it to an event, but whatever. I did a shoot for it, and the shoot costume turned out so good. We went to a park and it was pitch black. We had no lighting. The only thing that we had was flash, and it turned out unimaginably well. Also, I had props for this as well. I had a bottle of champagne and I had a cigarette, and that was that. For my main costume last year, I did a siren. The idea behind this was I had bought this beautiful dress. I bought it for myself for my birthday when I turned 24. Since it's such like a statement almost, it's not like a dress that you can just wear anywhere. I haven't had like that many opportunities to wear it. After Halloween the year prior, it clicked for me. I had an idea. I was like, oh my god, I can use this dress for a siren costume because the dress looks like you're wet. Almost kind of emulates like a tail and scales because of the nature of the material and the way that it hugs the body. So I was like, oh my god, this is perfect if I ever wanted to do siren. I think this idea had so much potential, but my execution was kind of whatever. I would totally do this one again and like do it better. Basically, I like found scale prosthetics. I kind of wanted to do a lot more with the prosthetics, but it started to not make sense financially because prosthetics can be really expensive, especially when you get really good quality ones and they're large. It wasn't fitting within my like Halloween philosophy. Like I still have the prosthetics that I bought. It's not like I won't rewear them, but they're kind of a pain to store. They're a pain to maintain, blah, 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 blah. In an ideal world, I was looking at some prosthetic fins that I would have like put on my arms, but ultimately what I ended up doing was getting prosthetic scales and I just put them on my nipples. I took like a piece of fishnet and then I put glitter on top to kind of replicate the look of scales on my skin. I had whiteout contacts. I tried to do the wet hair look, but ultimately I don't think I was successful. And then I also, years prior, had bought this handmade necklace that looked like water droplets on spider web, and I, again, had never worn that before, so I wanted an excuse to wear it, and it was perfect to kind of replicate the look of me just getting out of the water. I also scoured the internet. My vision was for shoes, clear platform stripper heels, and I was looking for something very specific. It needed to be more like a mule because a lot of stripper shoes have the ankle and they're silver, not clear. I needed the whole thing to be clear. So I spent a lot of time looking for the exact clear stripper heel and I ultimately found it. For nails, I just did really long claw-like nails. And then, yeah, I kind of wish I did my makeup better. I wish I figured out a way to keep my hair wet, and I wish I just sent it with the prosthetics. And then for the shoot for this one, honestly, the shoot was a fucking nightmare. I originally would have loved if we were able to go to the beach and shoot, but it was cold and we were tired and there was a miscommunication with the photographer and whatever, so the shoot was also not 100% what I wanted. But with what we had, the location, my idea was to play on the concept of the office siren. It would be more literal, like an actual siren in the office setting. It was fine, but not my favorite thing. And that pretty much takes us all the way through my Halloween journey. Honorable mentions for side costumes, I've also done black cat. I just have plain cat ears and just wear a black outfit, put on the whiskers, and call it a day. If you need something really last minute, literally you don't need to buy anything new for that, except for maybe cat ears, but I just have those lying around. And then the Matrix. The Matrix one is so easy. I just took a long black trench coat that I have and put on sunglasses, slicked my hair, and that was fucking it. When I'm looking to decide what I want to be for Halloween, I am also pretty specific. I want something that's fashion forward, that's not super costumey, something that I can interpret myself. It has to have a level of complexity so that I satisfy the itch that I've like done something. Like it can't be too simple. Bonus points if I can reference a character or a piece of history, a piece of art, or some kind of element in pop culture or in culture in general. I feel like every year I get more and more serious about Halloween. Yeah, that's it. I'm done with my makeup. I'm fucking over it. Ugh. I have 30 minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my outfit. This does not even look good. Ugh, I literally have no inspo for what I want to wear. And I think my makeup looks so horrible. I think I'm coming back home before I go to this party, so I don't have to necessarily get dressed for the dinner and the party. Like I can make a new outfit if I really don't like what I'm wearing for this dinner. But this dinner, apparently my mom said fancy, which normally I have no problem doing. But today I just like really wasn't feeling it. I just don't feel like being uncomfortable right now, but I don't like wearing some, oh my god. But I don't wanna wear something comfortable that's not also cute. I think I'm also not feeling it because I'm fucking sick. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Ever since I went out with my girlfriend 2 weeks ago. I didn't go to bed until like 5. And when I don't go to bed, it's like not good for me. Okay. I still want to be cute and I still want to slay. But just how? I have to be comfortable today. I must be. I kind of love this actually, but it feels a little too daytime. Still feeling way too daytime. We're getting somewhere. Also put it with a little kitten heel. If these kitten heels were not so kitten, if they were like a few inches taller, I would probably wear them a lot more. But there's something about the weight of the shoe I feel like is unevenly distributed, so that when my foot is in this shoe, I feel like my foot looks massive. I have to be wearing a very specific pant in order to wear these shoes. I am wearing the correct pant for these shoes, but it's just not the vibe I'm really going for. I want something a little bit more elevated. Literally and figuratively. I don't know. I'm gonna do my hair. I think if I do an updo. I'm not loving this t-shirt, I think. It feels too casual for the dinner. It actually feels perfect for like what I'm going to after, but for this fancy schmancy dinner, feels a little too cash. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna look up this restaurant. I don't think I've been to this restaurant before, so I don't really know what the vibe is. If I can figure out what the vibe of the restaurant is, that might give me better direction. Oh my god, it's fucking fancy. This is the first picture. I'm dead. Okay. Normally I'm like so excited about a fancy smanchy dinner, but right now I'm like, I can't even drink. I can't even try the fun cocktails. Oh, that's gonna hurt me. Fuck. Okay, so it's fucking fancy. I actually should wear a dress. I don't want to wear a dress today. A few weekends ago, I wore like a vintage Victoria's Secret slip dress and then capris underneath. So I'm thinking of kind of doing the same situation. This is another vintage Victoria's Secret nightgown thing. What I was thinking was these little shorts, but I hate that actually. So I'm gonna try something else. Hate it. I hate it. I think what I'm trying to do is a take on the dress over pants look, but this isn't working. Oh! Wait, I actually don't hate this, but I still feel like shorts is not very nighttime, you know? Wait, I actually love this. I don't think it's really like the vibe though. This is too like red, white, and blue. It's giving Superman. I'm gonna run out of time at some point, and whatever I'm wearing when I run out of time is what I'm gonna have to wear. Remember when I was like, I have to wear something comfortable? This is not it. Although, it is gorgeous, and I love it. So far, this fits the vibe the best. But I'm not gonna be able to eat, because it's so tight. I'm obsessed, actually. It's so pretty. Oh, and my ass is completely out. This was my grad dress. I was also like 10 pounds lighter. It's so short. So I like this the best, but it's the least comfortable. I can't breathe, oh my god. This is like a clubbing dress. I can't wear this to dinner. Like, I'm being ridiculous. Okay, so now that the mess has been made, I think this is the middle ground that we're coming. My mom yelling. Okay, anyway, so I think the middle ground that I've come to is black short instead, and there's black lace on the bottom of my shorts to tie everything together. So I'm not mad about this actually. It's not the most flattering thing. I don't have time anymore. This is what I have to wear. I really am not mad about it, so I'm just gonna take the win. Do I want to wear a necklace? Yeah, I think this does call for a necklace. I hate that. It's cute though. I hate it, but it's cute. This is kind of the only thing I really got. There's only one real option. It has my cream that I got from the dermatologist for my fucking rash. I need a lip. This is the look amongst my mess. I hope you got some Halloween inspo from this. I'm so excited to see what everyone does for Halloween this year. I'm so excited for Halloween this year. I think this fall is gonna be fucking amazing. I love you. Thank you so much for being here and chatting with me and getting ready with me as always. Love you. Bye. today, while I get ready, we are going to be, while I get, la la la, in honor of spooky. Today, la la la, I am going to be going over, like, can you just, she's gonna have a few, then that la la la. They mistakenly plant the queen's roses. They mistakenly what I could do. Whatever. I am very coordinated. Ugh, I hope I didn't just fuck up this. I made a dent in this? How is that even possible? I didn't even drop it that hard. Well, fuck, that's gonna really piss me off. Oh well, I guess. What am I gonna do?